Uh, Hi guys, how is going? Hope everything is going smoothly with this nice summer. Have you something to present? It's a book. The title is To Argue Logically or with Heart, Mind and Belief. So this is the paper book. That's how it looks like. And if you want to check me out, you can go on Amazon.com and search me as Dr. Saida Sadiq. First of all, let me give you a brief about my book. So here, and from where I was inspired to argue logically or with heart, mind and belief. I state here the great person who I got inspired from. He is J.K. Chesterton, 1874-1936. He said, "We can argue with our opponent using logic, and we can certainly define the truth with it. But we need more than logic to complete our philosophy and our faith." So when I was doing research in the middle of dissertating my book, I got caught by his saying that inspired me a lot and give me more faith to finish my book. So from that belief, I dedicate the work to all people who are struggling, searching for the truth, searching for a path for their own life in this modern life where capitalism is dominating over all systems after the collapse of communism. This modest work is for people who are doing their best to make the right changes in their own lives to escape how we call one of the issues of modernity is financial matrix. I have written something about that in my blog, which is Saida 3619 WordPress. Yeah, so you can check it out. And so unfortunately, consequences of modernization has a great impact in our lives, but this impact is not absolutely positive, because there are bad consequences as well. Like in Imperialism, we tear apart as human being who is social. Socialists will define him as a social human. Human being is a social. So that modernism has put apart this and just ripped the relations in the same society or between societies, or if we talk like family as a basic unit of society, it's teared apart the relationship between wife and husband, between the parents and children. So in this book I'm asking questions, trying to give meaning to some issues, trying to understand some phenomena, and trying to give ways to survive or to live together as differences, as in this, like just as example, in American society we have the difference, ethnicity, race, differences in religion, in political view, social and economic views as well. So we're trying to work out this difference to survive as a human being and to celebrate, like not to take these differences as an obstacle, but instead to work it out as a matter of fact and celebrate it. We don't have to be similar, we don't have to be copy of each other. Everybody has his own opinion, his own views, own beliefs. So the question here is to respect the difference. I'm trying to push it hard. I'm not sure if it would work. Like to spread peace, why not? Love, why not? What we lose if we love each other? And light up everyone's life. Yeah, there is always hope for people to come together despite the many wars that rage around the world, whether hot wars with weapons or cold ones with ideas and competition or attempting to control the world. As we see, like small, high elite who possess all the bounties, while the rest of the world and population just suffer from hunger in some countries and diseases that just appear. We don't know even how to treat them, how to help them. And many countries are struggling with political corruption and in your ignorance and many other social issues that I didn't mention in this preface, but I'm gonna go through the chapters later. So this situation endangers lives and makes it hard for millions around the world to live peacefully. And I didn't mention here like the climate change that put many countries in danger with the natural catastrophe. So from the point of view, like questioning our lives, I ask you all and call every one of you to get rid of prejudices and to work together to make life, and to make life easier for every one of us, to spread love and to make peace reign with all of humanity around us, like all kinds of people. Why not? So when I say so, we take in consideration the right of women, children, and minorities. Yeah. Now here I'll go through the contents. What this book is all about, what the matter that book is trying to, what subject, what's my concern in this book.
Why turn it off? The stove.
No.
Okay.
So I have here after this preface, I have here human rights and modernity. Why I'm talking about human rights and modernity, I'll answer this later. I have here democracy and egalitarianism. That is how it's called. It is called in sociology, otherwise it just means equality. UN human rights. This is like the 30 articles posed by human rights, UN human rights. Then I go to another theme, which is Islamic law and justice, Islamic law and modernity. Then we pass to talk about the economic side that is very important and has a great impact in our lives, individual life or social life. Here I put imperialism facing impasse, imperialism and capitalism, imperialism at economical issue crisis, imperialism and environmental crisis, then imperialism and the future, imperialism and technology, imperialism and terrorism, then the last, imperialism and mind control. Then I have a conclusion biography and about the author. So I'm just gonna read here in my blog where I have like a summary where I put big picture of that book. This book to argue logically or with heart, mind, and belief. Yeah, is like considered as an intellectual contribution, which shows the capability to expose the modern issues, and I'm trying there to give some solution to solve them. I try to make a resemblance the everlasting conflict between logic and belief. There are two ways to get the truth, either through logic or through faith or belief, which is parallel to mind and heart. So this everlasting conflict occurred and will continue to occur till the last day of civic life. However, this book is an effective way to put the mind and belief in an open dialogue by implementing a new system of thinking and approaching modern issues of capitalism and imperialism, in addition to new ideas. I have summed up about the conflict, modern side of life, which we are going through. The book states the conflict that is embodied here as a conflict between two systems, which are the imperialism and the communism, the industrial and knowledge, modern and traditional, secular and spiritual. This conflict between two systems would lead in a better situation if people take the responsibility to act. Yeah. Here the role of people is very important. It can change the system that is crashing down. So the effectiveness of the people position is primordial to make the real change. Their capacity to fight back, their instinct to fight their weakness imposed by strong and powerful corporations and tyrannic government, which modeled systems that benefit the small elite without offering justice to other social classes like middle class or worker class that keeps the economy on. This injustice affects actually the society, decrease the capability of purchase, and cause violence, social, economic, and political violence, and cause chaos in the society. I try to discuss here this system, which is imperialism, in all its levels: social, economic, political, how it damaged the environment, and how it push further technology. The conception here is based on philosophical, social and futurist studies, from where I take position and offer a specific approach from new point of view. So this book is not like a copy or in what have been written or approached before, but is an attempt to foresee the future by introducing new ideas in a logical way, using different methods to reveal the hidden truth. So this book could be very important for many reasons. Firstly, it attempts to interpret the rapid changes that happen to the world in the economic, social, and political aspect, from historically or chronologically from the middle of the 20th century to the 21st century. Secondly, it uncovers the ugly face of imperialism and neo-colonialism, which try to survive the critical economic, political, and ideological collapse by the military invasion of the Third World, especially in the Middle East and North Africa, what they call MENA. So this book trying to explain that the true and main reason for these invasions is exploiting the natural resources of those areas but the hidden truth is not just to exploit the natural resources, as I will explain through the book, but is like a civilization war, is to impose values. Politicians will call it democratic values, and scientific we will call it different, but to impose these values. That's the hidden truth. So this book is as well a call for all human beings to come together despite all the differences in order to establish a new social system based on justice. Because what's imperialism or because capitalism came first, what capitalism has gone extremely in causing social injustice. So people has to come together to call for social justice, and before social justice we have other form of justice. And instead of war we can go for mutual respect and peaceful coexistence, and justice here as well. And when I say call for justice as well for climate change, to stop damaging the nature, because otherwise we gonna go, and our kids and grandkids, we're gonna leave them nothing but damages. So we have to stop this right now. We can't go like that. Damaging nature has to stop, because we share this earth, so we have to coexist peacefully in mutual respect and love. Why not? This book is divided into 3 chapters. First chapter is talking about human rights and modernity and all what concern the human rights, because human rights, if they are applied, it's like a way to achieve the justice I'm talking about. So human rights and modernity and imperialism, that is now facing, well, I'm not saying now, but since chronologically since the middle of the 20th century, is facing an impasse. So the second part, which is the three chapters which are connected to each other in a natural and logical way that flows smoothly from one topic to another in order to achieve the best understanding of what really is going on secretly under the table. So the first chapter, Human Rights and Modernity, exposes the fake modernity and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. How come declaring the human right happens in the same time when genocides happen? No wise human being would fail to understand that the so-called human rights was a Western product to secure the welfare of Western citizens at the expense of the welfare of non-Western citizens. It is best described as 30 dead articles that will remain unachieved in the undeveloped countries. Then a shift to talk about equality and whether or not it leads to justice. As a result, it discusses the compassion of Islam that we have all to face as a fact, and as like almost 2 billion people in the world are Muslim. When I'm saying Muslim, I'm not saying Arabs, because that's different. And the flexibility of the Islamic law in serving the actual human right. Finally, discusses the 2 elements of modernity, which are rationalization and globalization, and how they affect and are affected by Islam. Will the conflict between the secular and spiritual systems be solved by the unity between Islam and modernity, which is called modernizing Islam? Or would this unity remain an unreachable dream? So in the chapter where imperialism is facing impasse, it introduces a chronological series of events. This series starts from imperialism that divided the world into two poles: developed countries and underdeveloped countries. The developed countries, the ruler controls the undeveloped, the slave, which is a slave. Consequently, the capitalism, which depends on the raw materials and markets provided by the third world to the industrial countries, appeared after defeating the socialism in the Cold War. This resulted in a new world order, or neoliberal capitalism, or neoliberalism. This so-called New World Order caused the absolute oppression, exploitation, and slavery of the Third World, which eventually suffered from systematic racism and environmental disasters such as dirty water, climate change, and lack of natural resources. In the chapter Imperialism and the Future, it tracks the three major waves of history: the agriculture, industry and knowledge, and the field of technology. The three major waves: agriculture, industry and knowledge, the fuel of technology. So as a result, it shifts to discuss technology as a two-edged weapon that has both benefits and side effects. Then it moves to talk about how technology enabled the West to create the so-called ISIS in order to facilitate the US intervention in the Middle East and North Africa. It also discusses the illegal Western invasion on the places where their own experiment ISIS is found after the later rebelled and established its own state. Finally, it explains how the imperial powers control the minds of the Third World government and its people. In conclusion, the book states that the conflict between logic and faith continues in order to understand the causes and effects of natural phenomena and historical events. It also states that the solution to all this chaos is people awakening and its fight back against the systematic racism, economic exploitation, and imperialism, so that he can achieve justice of all kinds and levels: individual justice, social justice, climate justice, economic justice, political justice, law justice. So this is like a summary or a big picture of the book, and I'm expecting you guys to read the book, or at least go to Amazon and look me up as Dr. Saida Sadiq. then see my books there. That's not the only one, but this is just one of them. When you go there, you get to see my other books, my thesis, my PhD thesis, which is about perspective in Italian painting during the Renaissance, and another book similar to it, like Renaissance Italian painting styles, and the book I just presented now, which is to argue logically or with heart, mind, and belief. And this book, the fourth or the fifth, this is the fourth. So the fourth one, which is religion, sciences, philosophy, mind and beliefs, under my name, Dr. Saida Sadiq. And I hope you could find me in Amazon, and they have my books as well.
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and they have as well my books in website createspace.com as well. And if you go in Amazon, I hope you could leave, I wouldn't say review because it's not, it's just a rating that helped me, help the book or help the customer, help the reader to see my book. This is how it works in Amazon. So, I hope to see you in another time. And hope to get some feedback from you guys. I hope it was clear and you could understand what I was presenting. That's it. Hope to see you and hope you enjoy your summer, the rest of the summer. Thank you. See you and enjoy your weekend.